Hello and welcome to the Warpath, Player 2's weekly full playthrough of the original Darksiders. My name is Paul James, and we're going to kick things off with part 3. We are at Tiamat's tower, or lair, or the entrance of it anyway, and we're going to try and wreck shop a little bit. We're going to just take a few of these goons out nice and early. So if you've been following this series so far, I am a big Darksiders fan, and I'm really keen on the impending Darksiders 3. The Collector's Edition for said game was made available and was quickly pre-ordered out in Australia. It went for $700 a pop. But it is now pre-ordered out. I didn't go for it, contrary to popular opinion out there on Twitter. But we are here with part 3 today, and we're going to try and knock through things at a decent rate. We've got a little bit of the castle to explore. This is actually the second time I've had to do this. There's some behind the scenes stuff here. The power cord for the PS4 got knocked loose during my recording. And rather than kind of hastily cut and chop it back together, I thought I'd go from scratch. It was disappointing though to lose close to 45-50 minutes worth of gameplay. I must say that went down like a lead balloon. But when your cat walks through under the table without you realising and knocks the power cord to the PlayStation loose, you've got fairly good reason to be pissed, and well, that I was. Thankfully, I spent a little bit of time kind of stumbling and bumbling around on that first attempt, so the fact that I can now do it again, it should be a cleaner, faster playthrough this time. And I didn't want to take a bet. I didn't want to, like I said, I didn't want to hastily cut anything together. So there's Tiamat there. You'll see him pop up a few times in this same battle here. It's just a reminder as to just how powerful this guy is, and that he could rip us a new one if we're not careful. So I guess given that we're inevitably going to be battling him, we probably want to be careful. So I've spoken about my love of Darksiders. And it began with this first game. I'm a big fan of 3D action adventures such as this, such as Zelda, such as God of War. And this just really spoke to me because of, firstly, those the similarities between this and Zelda and God of War and the like, but also the setting. I don't mind the old heaven versus hell sort of conflict here, and we'll talk a bit more about that specifically as things progress. So, we're in a big open room here. We need to pass through one of these doors. It's going to be this one. You need basically these swords, like what we did a moment ago, those swords to be in their sheaths, or these pedestals. On the other side we don't have that yet, so we can pass through here and continue. Sorry for swirling that camera around too much. They tell us just enough here, so we're going to need to knock that statue down onto the onto that hole. I held that combo long and my opportunity. There we go. Now, if you follow this series so far, you will know that my favourite combo is not really a combo, it's that home run swing right now. I love the idea of swinging this sword around like a baseball bat and hammering those little demonic arseholes into another dimension. And so that's what I'm trying to do. We've got a bit more company, we've got a bat right behind us. I like to try and take them out early because they just linger above you. They get in a difficult spot. They can cause a little bit of grief. And though they won't do a ton of damage, they're just difficult to navigate. The lock-on wasn't superb in this first game. It's certainly something improved, but because those bats are fairly mobile, it's just a bit easier to deal with these ground goons without having something pecking away at your head from above. There's still some souls to be found by smashing up these little fences, so I'll very briefly deal with that, because every soul counts. Alright. Now, is that the door we came through, or is the other side? We'll try this one. No, that's the one I came through. Back we go. Here we go. And we're going to get introduced to the bombs. I'm going to get some health here first. So the things I love about Darksiders, I've already spoken about the gameplay. About the gameplay, and the premise. Oh damn! I took far too long with that. It's just, in some ways, there's almost this intangible thing that just makes it appealing, because mechanically, especially the first game, it wasn't the most polished in the world. In fact, you compare it to a Zelda game, and we had one come out a year later in the form of Skyward Sword. Compare it to God of War. God of War was still an ongoing series then. There was Bayonetta coming out. We'd seen Devil May Cry and all those sort of things over the journey. In many ways, this first game didn't really hold a candle to them. But there was this intangible quality, and I think in large part the story, the concept, the theme, the setting played a big part of it. But it pulls on so many things that I've enjoyed about games. It pulls on those strengths of Zelda. It pulls on the strengths of God of War. You see portal elements, which we'll find as we progress through the game. There's simple puzzles. The combat is fast, fluid. You feel powerful. It just does a lot of the simple things well. And you don't get too bogged down. Like it does what good action adventure games do. It does what other good action adventure games do, where it's got its linear path. It's kind of wide linear. There's opportunities to go off the beaten path if you so desire, but really there's only one critical path, and it ensures that you know where that path is. You have the means to follow it. You can bounce wherever you want and do what you like, but there's only one path, and there's a story that they want you to experience. And it's one that I really still. There we go. I did get it. It's still one that I really enjoy going back to. No, we got a home run. Daddy. We keep making our way down into this dungeon. If you're playing, always make sure to use those action abilities there, so let's back to circle. Extra souls and souls are important. See, I mashed him a little bit too much. We've got the ornate key. We saw the ornate door earlier, so we can actually return there now. I don't think there's anything to do up top here. There's no little tricks concealed in the ceiling. Can't pass through that door. We have to return the way we've just come, but that's okay. Excuse me if I take the occasional glance behind me there. The dog is quietly sleeping on a bed behind me. And I just want to make sure that everything's going as it should. Excellent. Now we had, I think it was in this particular portion, we had the ornate door. There it is. We're soon going to get the means to be able to deal with that particular bomb. Right now we've got the ability to pick up all these individual bombs that we can pick up and throw. But we're soon going to have an item that will allow us to reach those. Boom. Excellent. Let's go through this door. So if you have been enjoying this series, please make sure to like, share and subscribe. We've got a whole bunch of original content on the channel. That includes more full plays such as this. We've got one for Secret of Mana. I dubbed it Secret of Mana Saturday. That was the first one that kicked off this whole long play idea. Our own Matt Hewson has done a series dedicated to Fallout New Vegas. We've got Sarah Allen who's working on some stuff for Diablo 3. How the recent reveal of the Diablo 3 is coming to the Switch has already bearing. Why didn't you mash the button then? Jeez, I'm out of... that dash still. There we go. You can still use that dash even when in the air. It's not quite as effective, but it still does the job. A bit disappointed that I had to use that. What do you call it? That the L1 and triangle combo there, the one that restored my health. I've let myself take a few cheap hits here that I really shouldn't have. That horn, for any of you who have not followed our previous episodes, basically allows you to... There's like some golems that block certain paths, allows you to then get their attention. They're essentially they're asleep, and you're a little horseman of the apocalypse. Got that key, so we'll head through the door. We'll deal with the other one that didn't, the other statue that didn't have a sword in it. Some enemies to take out. Come on, close so I can string these. There we go. No others. Great. So yeah, how that Diablo announcement impacts Sarah and what she decides she wants to do with her Diablo 3 sort of series remains to be seen, but it's certainly one to look forward to. And on top of those shows, we also have Patched, The Insider, The Late Game Review, Gamer School, and a whole lot more. There is some awesome content there. So, took too long. Have a quick look around now that I've... Yeah, alright. So we're going to throw the bomb at that, take it out, grab the sword, and open the door. You don't have long. old mate before that nearly wiped us out. Ah, don't. The lock-on can work against you a little bit when you're trying to dash away from particular enemies. When a big swing like that's coming in, you find that you actually dash at an enemy, and because they're still close, you're still within range. Let's now just focus on the big one. Oh no. I thought that'd be enough to kill him, but alright, there's a little bit of health coming back to me, but man, I'm taking hits far too easily today. Alright, so we've got the pedestal over here. We'll pop the sword in, that'll allow us to go through the door. I'm having a hell of a time. Pun intended. Oh wait. Cool, artifact. These can all be sold to Vulgrim. Vulgrim being the vendor in the game. Your source of new skills and gear. They can be exchanged to him for souls, which are currency. You can then buy whatever from him. Whatever your little heart desires. Oh, missed the jump. Just making a meal of some of the basics right now. Specifically in combat, but I'll happily say that it extends to, well, unhappily, but I will stick by the fact that it's also affecting my platforming. I'm just making some really clumsy basic errors. Push this block down. Now, on my last playthrough, I spent quite a bit of time, mistakenly I might add, attempting to use a bomb from down the bottom there, throw it at this guy, and then run around and get through. The bomb works. You can't get up there quickly enough though. So I wasted, I'd say a good 2 or 3 minutes of gameplay time with because of a pretty basic thing there. The message didn't quite perforate my skull. We can now drop through. Just going to be very careful because my health has taken a bit of a beating, and there's no need to be dying. Does suffer from Super Mario Sunshine Curse, the camera can be nightmarish. Trying to grapple all these guys. So that I get a health soul back when I kill him, because I've let myself go a little bit. Yeah, let's catch that in right now. So we've got, I think, a little fight ahead of us. It's nothing major. This is where we get our new ability, our new weapon, our new tool. Yep, we've got our crossblade. And so by charging R2 and launching it, you can take out these little flying douchebags. Alright, this big acidic prick is going to cause an issue, so we'll keep it nice and ranged. Like the prompt says, the crossblade will kind of grind against him. It allows me to buy myself a little bit of time at distance. Just keep strafing away. Back up. Oh. I thought he was about to explode. There we go. Let's run him through. Rip his head out. Oof. Plenty of souls. There's our doorway now open, and we can continue through the lair. So, when you're in this particular perspective, you can lock onto multiple opponents. I feel like I thought I heard some music that might suggest there were still some enemies around. Not to be. Things are going quite well at the moment. We're progressing nicely. Again, it does help that I've done it before. Recently. I have played Darksiders before when it came out on the PS3. But I'm a tad rusty. So this is a key prompt here, so you can imbue your crossblade with elements. So you can see how we've got the fire, the torch here. I think I locked onto one of the bombs first, but it'll bounce in the sequential order that you've locked onto things. So I'll throw, bounce, bounce. There we go. Set off the bomb. Failed. Side here, pass through the door with some Kratos-like strength, but you'd expect a bit of power from War, the Horseman of the Apocalypse. So for those of you who aren't especially familiar with the Darksiders franchise, and this is your first entry of our full playthrough. Basically, the condensed version of the plot is that the apocalypse has begun, I should say, early. The Horsemen, this is a scripture sort of thing here. The Horsemen of the Apocalypse aren't supposed to arrive on the scene unless certain criteria have been met. And look, those look a little bit different depending on your religious beliefs. But essentially, in the case of the Darksiders law, seals have been broken. And, come on. Yes, essentially in Darksiders law, seals have been broken and are supposed to be broken, and the Horsemen of the Apocalypse appear. The problem is, and the thing that kind of guides the story of Darksiders, as well as Darksiders 2 and presumably Darksiders 3, based on some of the marketing so far, the seals that were supposed to be broken in order for War and his brothers or sisters to appear were not broken, and yet here he is. Oh. Why, you assholes. Oh no. No, what am I doing? Accidentally mashing the wrong button. With a big lumbering, clunky character such as War is not a good move. And yet, here he is. So the whole mystery around what's going on in Darksiders is, why are the Horsemen here already? And that's kind of what we're out here to discover. Because currently, War's in a fair bit of trouble. From essentially, to be better put, his bosses. Let's go flying through here nice and quick. There's another sword. Sweet. This should be a platform for us. It is. And the door, conveniently as well. And now we need to adjust these platforms again in order to get over to the other side. We want to set off this one over here. There we go. Some souls. All the platforms have risen now, or are rising. And we can scoot on out of here. Let's go. Now the upshot is here, we've got to collect the 3 swords required. We've just collected the first. Required to place in each of those 3 pedestals, and when we do so, and I didn't actually finish it before the power cut out, I presume that door on the far side of the room right now, that will open and we can progress. Is in this room here where I lost my power. So I'll clarify for you when we reach the point where I stopped. As you can see, remember I said I'd record about 45 to 50 minutes before I lost power last time. And you're looking down the counter here, and we've gone for about 30 minutes. I got bogged down on a few little puzzles along the way. Namely, some stuff that weren't even puzzles. The very first room that we went in there, where I just had to walk through the door where the sword was. For some reason, the idea of that didn't quite hit me. And I actually just didn't see the action prompt when I got to the door. And so I was kind of circling for a little while there. Not a moment I'm especially proud of, given how blatantly obvious it was. And just notice how I didn't make the same mistake again. The inert bomb growth, so it is basically inactive unless interacted with fire. So I'm going to toss it there. I think it's close enough. There we go, cool. Cogs are beginning to move. There's a bit of action in here now. But I need to get out of this particular part now. I need to head back up again. I reckon I can do so from over here. Potentially. There we are. And we're about 30 seconds away, I'd say, from the point where my game crashed. Or well, my game ended. Unceremoniously, I guess. Bomb over here, I can deal with that bomb. I need to bomb the other side of the room. And I didn't quite make it. Smart with my bomb placement here. I'll get to the other side of the room shortly. I want to space these bombs out so I can... Is it daisy chain? Whatever a bloody daisy chain is. But chain these explosions together. Get out. There we go. Wait patiently for this bridge. Pippa, the lovely spoodle down here, just having a good comfy time sitting on a fold-out bed for some guests that come through every now and then. As long as she doesn't soil herself, she'll remain inside. In the meantime, I missed the bridge. Whoops. out here. And we're now at a point that I didn't reach in my last playthrough there. I went over to go do with this bomb, and then lost power. So we'll continue from here in the dark. Excellent. There we go. Lava stops? Yep. We can pass through. Presumably there's a sword in here. There is. There we go. Anything else? Yes. Plenty of souls. That is always good news. Volgrim will... Well, he'll take him off me. He'll rob me blind, but... they're good to have regardless. So that's another sword down. Now I went to the pathway to my right as the camera faces, and now straight ahead. And the door's opened early. This one down here, the one that I thought, okay. Alright. Yeah, okay, we've got a little arena here. There is a fight going on by me. So that, like I said before, the Mario Sunshine camera curse makes things a little bit tricky from time to time. Give me that chest back. That was a very easy little arena there. Beholder's key. Shard. Now, which door do I go through? I don't think it's that one. No, that one's the first of the puzzles. So I'm going to assume it's the opposite side of the room then, because I went through and I can see on the mini-map in the bottom right corner there, that is one we dealt with before with the rotating bridge. So it'll have to be up here. An enemy trying to stand guard, which is usually an indication that we're heading in the right direction. I'll dance around the side here in case there's anything hidden that's kind of emerged. That looks like a beholder's key door. Oh, let's take that. He wants a piece. Alright, now let's get back up there. That was a little distraction. Let's remember, there is one of those door pedestals without a sword. Probably got to go back there. This is a fairly large area though that we're walking into based on the map. We've got plenty of bats. Oh, I didn't see that one. Let's see what there is to see. You're leaving me with choices, Darksiders. Let's go check out what's behind the door first. Looks like another arena. Oh! Alright. This guy is going to cause us some grief. Oh, that's a fair-sized hit. Oh, and he's got some little goons to help him. Oh, good. The sword's leveled up. Big husk sack on the back there.
There must be some way to rupture these bags of fleshy spots altogether.
So I think we've got to use the... We just need to... At a moment's peace. Oh no, 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 no. Wow! He just went ham on me. There's our Chaos Surgeon leveling up again. Let's rip this guy in half. Bail, 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 bail. I need to get him to take out. I feel like I need him to take out that. on, you're not nearly grumpy enough. I'm over here. Oh! You're gonna get skewered, bud. Far cry from how I performed last time. This time I had basically all of my health. Most of it. Just keep in mind that door behind us just opened. See if there's anything to be collected in here, but it doesn't seem to be the case. So let's pass on through. We're now committed to this particular portion of the map. We'll deal with whatever that pedestal presented shortly. So we've got a bomb and a place to toss it. Skewering and swiping. I wonder if there's something in lighting all these torches up. Do we have any more that are out? We do. Let's just suss that one out. Feels like a very Zelda sort of thing where lighting all the torches, I think it's going to be necessary anyway to... Eventually we'll throw a bomb over there at that wall and the torches will... Yeah, okay, I think I can see where this is going. And I think you can too now. Get the bomb now because we're within throwing range and we've already lit up a bunch of these already. Boom, boom, bomb. Excellent. I knew there was a chest for lighting all these up. Don't know where it is, but there we go, near the entrance. Let's go deal with that before we do anything else. Because bonus goodies are awesome. Bloodthirst. This enhancement heals war by stealing the life of adversaries during combat. I like it. Let's look into equipping this skill. So we've still got to take out... There's a little look at the map. There's our kills and deaths. Yeah, we're at 2 so far. That's not great. I love that they show the number of gallons of demon blood that we've spilled. A completely unnecessary statistic, something that isn't probably measured correctly. Not that we can really, because yes, gallons are a measure of something, but it's a few moves. No, how do I do this again? Ah, there. No, there's the possession thing. Instantly increases, yeah, okay, so we'll map that to here. We've got our empty vessel there. We've got the block counter, which we haven't done anything with, that's a passive thing. Earth Caller, Crossblade, here we are. Bloodthirst. Leeches weapon damage and converts into health. Versus what we currently have equipped, which boosts the damage inflicted by weapons attack. But we have just leveled the weapon up somewhat, so they probably offset one another. And I feel like, given just how I'm going today, I'm bleeding more than I ought to. So if I'm going to get rewarded with some health for every strike or every kill, I'm going to take it. Oh, that's maybe... Assume no health for that, because it was with the boomerang thing. Lift the bridge up. There we go. Continue into here. Let's mess around with this thing. Let's shoot that pedestal up, back into the main room. I think certainly looks the part. And now we'll just mosey down this bridge and deal with some goons, of course. Oh, no, get back, get back, get back, get back. Alright, let's go. Oh joy. I am enjoying seeing my health replenish here as I take these guys out. Probably does just a little bit to offset some stupidity that I've been responsible for throughout the session. What's next? There's going to be something. Glad I didn't open that chest before. Though it seems it didn't hurt that I decided not to deal with the platform, the thing right away, because I wouldn't have had both of these pedestals to unlock the platforms. So you beauty ball, you knew exactly what you were doing way before you needed to. Oh. Is that all three of them down? Is there not one above my head? No, we're good. Let's move. door to my right that's intriguing. There was nothing to the left, yeah, it's just a wall. We'll deal with that other door that we opened in a moment. There's an enemy over there, I don't know. There's got to be something worthwhile for us to collect over there. Is this the way we came? It almost looks like the entrance. I think it is the entrance. No, not quite. Right. But I suspect all paths lead back here, so we'll keep this in mind. But the enemies have respawned. Cave some heads in. Like that, this might be the path I came down when I first entered, because I reckon that wall that we were climbing across there, when I leapt across, that was where one of the relics were. I could be wrong, but it has that look and feel about it. Not sure. Let's pass through this door anyway. We've got another arena. With a sword. They're not the nicest, these demons. But then again, it is kind of in the job description. You call me weak, but mate, you reckon you'll do this. Like having my way. Let's take advantage of that. Alright. Oh, more. Let's get down. Get rid of him nice and quick. No, that's a golf thing. I know it's a golf thing. Or is golf. I don't know what they say. Swing, batter, batter, swing. Alright, there we go. Aw. curse. Spoke too soon. Alright. Let's move. Now we've just crossed the hour mark today, so any of you who follow any of these shows, be it Fallout, Secret Manor, or now Darksiders, you know that we're not too far from tapping out for today. But if we get an indication that Tiamat is close, then we might make a run for the finish. So we'll see what happens when we return this third sword to its pedestal. If they react in a way that I think might get us to the finish line sooner rather than later, then we'll go for it. I just don't know if I'm heading the right way right now. I think I might be. Please go down. Yes, good. I think I'm heading the right way. I've got the map. I should... Oh, that's not the map. Hang on, how do I... I'm going to go with my gun. Is this the way? My gut says no. Nah. I know you on the other side of the camera, you're probably screaming and shouting at me now to tell me where to go. But I'm a teacher, I get told where to go all the time. So, let's take another look at this map once we get on the right level. Well, that top level there on the map, that's where Tiamat is for sure. I'm now just emerging here. Let's just fool around. That map's not super clear as to where I'm going. Just a bit disappointed that I've managed to let myself get so disoriented. It's usually something I fancy myself at being quite good at when it comes to video games. But yes, we jumped across and reached those. We didn't. Oh, we climbed around and we got there. Change of music. Absolutely feel like I'm heading the right way at the minute. Bounce around here. I feel like I'm getting warmer. That's it. That's it in here. Aha! Awesome. All three swords. Let's move. Let's go see our big avian friend. I assume that's where we're going. Hang on a second. This is where we were before. Now this door's open. Oh, we're on our way to Tiamat now. We're sticking this one out, friends. I know we've gone an hour and getting close to an hour and 10 minutes, but I think the finish line for this particular act of the game is in sight. So we're going to... well, we're going to go kill Tiamat and take his heart. So apologies for what would have been, I'm sure, a very awkward cut there. I didn't see it coming. I, this time, was responsible for knocking the power out. So let's try and deal with Tiamat again. Can't blame the cat this time. And the dog's still sitting there really quietly.
Reduce the horsemen to common assassins.
Samael, not Azrael, like I said in the episode. I'm getting my big demonic entities mixed up with my archangels.
You won't like my terms.
Now we had bombs. I remember seeing bombs. Potentially got to toss one his way just as... Ooh, that's a fair...
Consider my offer. Such a pity.
Oh, got myself in a shitty spot. Got a little bit aggro. And we're starting from scratch. Good. Nothing says fun like a redo. Skip all these cutscenes. Take him out again. And we'll be more careful while he's in the air. Keep a close eye on him. We'll just strafe our way around. Toss a bomb at him.
This will not end well for you,
Well,
horseman.
it didn't first time around, but I'm a little more sure of it this time. Right. There's our first hit. Let's back up. Let's get another bomb ready. Not a great place to land one. Don't know.
This will not end well for you, horseman.
Biting off more than I can chew scenarios. is. Let's watch him closely. Oh, back up. Oh no. Don't blow it at this point. Oh, but hang on, I was... Let's go. Cut through all this.
And ready for you, horseman.
The imprecision when it comes to throws here, that's what's really costed me across multiple attempts now. I'm not going to disclose to you how many times I have tried to take him out so far. But it's kind of ridiculous because the idea is totally right, and even now I just can't get a shot away. Like, it's the target is so obscured through no fault of my own, I can't actually hit him. Like, that wasn't even my fault now. I managed to hit him. I'm performing better than I have across multiple playthroughs so far, but... Oh, there we go.
Do it! Tear out her heart while she still lives. I want to hear her scream.
One of the chosen. I can grant your every wish.
Can you restore the balance?
That's an over.
No wonder Samael wants this thing. It's coursing with power. Really think he's going to let you live long enough to collect on your end?
Oh, the heart of the chosen. Like a bat out of hell. The trophy, you, Butte. And a lifestone. All important. Pass through this portal. And we'll scoot. Here's our mate Samael.
Tragic. Without your feathered friend, how will you escape this prison of rock?
Or does it just drop us at the
I'll
entrance?
find a way.
You have certainly proven yourself resourceful.
Thanks, Volgrim.
Perhaps I can provide a quicker way.
Speak plainly, demon.
Serpent holes, ancient paths that worm their way beneath the husk of this dead world and beyond.
So essentially
use them
fast
to get
travel.
about, and for a price, so can you.
What do you want, Bulgrim?
A trifle, really? The Chosen's heart. I felt its power the moment you stepped from that tower. You wound me, horseman. I would never come between you and your friend Samael. No, I only wish to look at the heart. One glance, and our bargain is sealed.
No touching.
Samael will be pleased. The serpent holes are yours, horseman. Seek me out when you wish to use them.
Well, I will seek him out. And as it says here, there are networks scattered around. It is your fast travel, essentially. I'll speak to him first. I'll see what sort of stuff I can commit our souls to. We can trade these artifacts. There's another 2,000 into the kitty.
Got something new for you.
Some life essence there. And empty vessels. Like there's bits and pieces that we can get there.
Oh, you like that? Old Vulcan's got something new for you.
Let's take a look through some of our different skills here. Most of these are at least level 2, so I'm not going to jump into those just yet. We've got the scythe. I might as well buy that,
Old Vulcan's got something new for you.
because that now unlocks a whole range of abilities there.
Not looking over here.
Drains Wrath while active. Barrier of Smoldering, Hellfire. We've got a bunch we could commit here now that we've unlocked the scythe. But I might stick to a Wrath Shard.
Excellent choice.
Still got a little bit to go. But that's ticked that one off the list. And we can keep on trucking. So I need to map the scythe to... Oh. There we go. So I can now start to string that together. The scythe, that is a monster. and that's the best purchase I'll make with Fulgrim for a while. These are the serpent holes, so we can now bounce back over here. Crossroads, Scalding Gallow, that's our closest point that will take us to Samael. So we'll wrap things up by going to see Samael, seeing what he has to say, seeing where he wants to direct us from here. Is that the closest point? Or did I just pick one that's... I think I picked a dodgy spot. But with the serpent holes now sorted, Fulgrim is guaranteed that he'll get to see us a little more. Here we go.
I trust that she suffered.
Not nearly enough.
Beautiful. The second guardian, the Griever, moves in tunnels beneath this place. But first there is an obstacle that must be removed. Ulthane, one of the old ones.
You didn't mention that before.
Changing the deal already, Samael.
Be silent, filth. My business is with the Horseman. Ulthane is no ally of the Destroyer. But you won't find the Griever without confronting the Black Hammer. And that will require strength you don't possess. Yet.
What the hell do you think you're doing, Samael?
Tell him, Watcher, how you stifle the Horseman's true power in order to keep him on the Council's leash. War. Destroy this parasite.
You so much as blink at me, and the Council will end you, both of you. I'm protected.
Not in here. You are War, rider of the Red Horse. Not some puppet on this pathetic creature's strings.
War, I will make you suffer.
Focus your anger. A great rage stirs within you, clawing to get out. You must release it, or a puppet will remain. You are reborn.
What was that?
The Horseman is broken, but there is still much power in him. For a moment I saw one who would stand alone against the Destroyer's army.
There we go. So we've also unlocked a bit of his power. You can see there, the top left, the L1 and R2 prompts. That's his Chaos form, which we did see at the beginning of the game there, and was kind of stripped from him. So that is where we're going to wrap up this episode of The Warpath. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for bearing with me on a couple of deaths there, and thank you very much for bearing with me when the power went out yet again. I'm not having a good run of it at the moment. If you've enjoyed this show though, and we've been going for about 90 minutes now, so if you've stuck it to this point, I think you have, so thank you, and thank you very much for that. If you have enjoyed it, please consider liking, sharing and subscribing. All those buttons are down below here, and by doing so you'll get access to episodes of Patched, the Video Games Club, The Insider, Player 2 Plays, The Late Game Review, Gamer School, and a whole lot more. There is some awesome content there, so please hit that notification bell, that way you're alerted to every video the moment it goes live. Visit the website, player2.net.au, where you'll find reviews, previews, opinion pieces, news, features, the Player 2 Writers Draft, and heaps more. There is some awesome content there. Our writers are contributing some awesome work, so please check out what they're doing. Also visit us on Patreon, patreon.com/player2au, and consider kicking in a few dollars. At the lower tiers, you'll get early access to episodes such as this, such as Patch, such as The Insider, and a whole lot more. At the higher tiers, you get monthly exclusives of some of those shows, and at the top tier, you can join us in the monthly Player 2 podcast. You are helping the Player 2 dream to grow, and we would love to hear your voice if you want to join us in the Player 2 podcast. So consider donating at that top tier, and we'll see you soon. For rolling updates, you can find me at PaulJamesP2 on Twitter, the website you'll find at Player2AU on Twitter, and until next time, thank you very much for watching. That is part 3 of the Warpath. Cheers.